What's up, y'all? It's Teal, and today we're going to be talking about rumors that originated on a Chinese social media thread called Baidu.com. So the backstory to this is, as we have people data mining in this community, there's people in the Chinese community also data mining, and apparently they found more than we did. Or they're putting the pieces better than we are. So it seemed like everything talked about in this is leftover code in the Teal mask. I try to look into it. I can't vouch for it, but apparently a lot of credible sources are saying this is legit. So we're gonna look through it and see what's up. This is about to be the telephone game, where the Chinese thread has been translated by someone and posted on 4chan. So here we go. Indigo Disc has 242 entries, including 8 new Pokemon. So this lines up with what we know as well. There's a lot of people speculating that this might not include the Paradox, Johto, and Unova Pokemon, which would have been cool, but since we can see Walking Wake and Virizion in this giant list along with the 8 that we don't have pictures for, I'd assume they are a part of the 8 and that we'll finally get Pokedex entries for them. There's got to be something up with them if Game Freak has to hide their entries from us. Maybe their entries only make sense after we know the ultimate story of the game, what the Paradox Pokemon really are. Especially like the idea that there's a civilization in Area 0. Maybe their entry would say something relating to that, rather than the generic Heat entries we get, where it's just some speculation. I'm hoping for that. I don't really care for Walking Wake's entry to say it's speculated to be a dinosaur from 200 million years ago. There's another group project in Blueberry Academy similar to the Teal Mask project. So this is the stupid project where we had 3 people with us and we're supposed to find the 3 signposts and take a selfie. That's all the Teal Mask really was. We just went on some adventure with Ogerpon. They're saying there's another project like that, but this time instead of it being nobodies, we might team up with the actual Blueberry Elite Four. About this, there's a post Ku made recently. This might be relevant to that. So he put X and then put Nemona and Carmine. Don't get freaking weird thoughts. Then there's a second one where he puts X2 and Penny and Arvin, and then a third one where it's X3 and it's Kieran and us. If this turns out to be true, maybe that's what Ku was hinting with those. So Nemona and Carmine is strong, but us and Kieran, that's our dream team. Isn't he gonna be the strongest or something? That's my theory. He's gonna be the Blueberry League champion. Something like that. Okay, the page, the legendary treasure from the Scarlet books will be updated with new information. What's the legendary treasure? Bro, Briar has all of the original manuscript. She probably has deeper notes on every single page. So legendary treasure is this page. Whoa. I thought it would have been the mutated beasts. Legendary treasure. Countless days into our descent, we reached at last the very depths of the Grey Crater. Yeah, we never see this in game. We think we see a version of this, which is the giant crystal shooting out of the ground near where the final lab is. But this is like they're all gathered together, like Tropigus was under there doing something. There we found a cave with formations of gemstone shining blindingly bright as far as we could see. Perhaps that strange light itself is the guardian set to watch over a treasure deep within the crater. So you're telling me Heath wrote more about this and it never got published? Wait a sec. Heath's publisher is part of the reason he's called a liar. Because on his page about Tropigus, he had more information on Tropigus. They made him take it out and black out all the important information. Not that there's a conspiracy here against the publisher, but maybe Heath ultimately didn't care to be called a liar. And maybe he wanted to protect the information he knew. Keep it just for himself or something. That's quite weird. R-Navi and scan features for the phone. There's an important plot battle against Glimora. And a plot-related double battle with Arvin and Penny. Wait a minute, this checks out with Ku. That's one of the combinations he put. Why would we team with them though? Alright, this is what I wanted to hear. There's a Pokemon that feeds off the Terra Crystals and says it in its Pokedex as if they want us to pay attention to it, and then being the signature Pokemon of her. Thank goodness there's something with it. This is in the code of the Teal Mask? Game Freak, you're so ass with your job, you know? How did you leave all this in the code? What, am I not supposed to speak about this for 3 months? We don't even have a release date for the Indigo Disc. So if there's another important battle related to Arvin and Penny, maybe this is after Blueberry when we have to go back to Area 0. And maybe Ku's post here with these 3 matchups is concerning when we go back to Area 0. Why would Kieran come with us? There's a plot battle codenamed Last Battle. That has to be against Tropigus. And it's a plot battle, right? This could be the big 4-way Tropigus battle. But if Kieran and Carmine are also in our main squad now, like there's 6 of us instead of 4 now. Can they be involved in this? I guess they get caught with something. Maybe as we're journeying back down to Area 0, like when we first went and we kept running into Pokemon each stage, once we enter the deeper part of Area Zero, we're gonna run into like Walking Wake, and some people are gonna stay behind. Raging Bolt, some people are gonna stay behind. And then Entei, and then at the end, it's just gonna be the core 4 that make it to Tropicus. DLC has 2 side stories. Bros, this DLC kinda big. One of them is centered around Nimona, Penny, and Arvin. G-Father and G-Mother are part of this sideline as well. Oh, frick! Let me try to find our version of this. So this is our data miner here, and he said of the new trainers that seem to appear in the code, we have the Elite 4 in Blueberry Academy, the Director Cyrano, then G-Father and G-Mother. I think that's a typo. So those are 2 new trainers. Then in another post, he said, found a storyline quest that involves Arvin, Nimona, Penny, G-Father, and G-Mother. G-Father and G-Mother are part of this line as well. Who could they be though? Nimona's parents? Oh my god, what if it's Arvin's? Think about it, Arvin's grandpa or grandma would be Sato Arturo's parents. Freaking Gita father? No, forget this. Okay, the other story is centered around parent, but with less text. Oh frick, okay. Remember what she said when she gave us the Growlet? She said the Growlets, surely they'll cross paths again. Goodness, she's in the second DLC it seems like. She must be after another creature like the Blood Moon Beast. So since she's from modern Hisui, maybe she's hunting another Hisuian Pokemon. But we only have 8 new Pokemon in the code, so where would another fit? The Blood Moon Ursaluna was just another form of the existing Ursaluna, but I don't think we detected other forms for other Pokemon. But again, our information in this data mine could be incomplete. Let's just play along. So in terms of surviving Hisuians she could find, we got like Arcanine, Electrode, Zoroark, Gudra. It might be kind of poetic if there was a super Arcanine that she was trying to take a photo of. And maybe to trigger this, you have to have evolved your Growlet that she gave you. And in the story, her Growlet would become brave as well and evolve. So the main story of Blueberry Academy is centered around Kieran, Carmine, and Blueberry's Elite 4. I think we could have figured that. Gita and Rika also appear in this plot. Gita? What is she doing here? I thought she was useless. So if it's specifically Gita and Rika, just one of the Elite 4 members, maybe we'll get some lore of whether any of them belong to Blueberry Academy. Remember, as much as we've forgotten about Gita, she does still have that shady Glamora. And she completely battles you wrong when you fight her. Team Star has side quests. Penny appears. I'm assuming this has nothing to do with Blueberry or Area Zero. Just if you go back to their hideouts, they have a new quest for you. Dude, if there was a final venture down to Area Zero, what I was saying earlier where people have to be left behind on each step, the freaking Team Star should totally help us. Penny, you gotta turn out useful in some way. She still has yet to do anything. All she did was turn on a light switch. Side quests? What the frick is this? For Sada or Turo. Unknown if AI or real. Arvin appears. How does that make sense? Okay, we're just gonna scrap the real ones because surely they're dead. I mean, their deaths were off screen. But come on, can't speculate about them still being alive. How does this make sense? Unless what I said is legit and we can really save the AIs from Tropicus' world. We don't know how they came to the conclusion that Sada and Tua are involved. Maybe they're not involved in person, but Arvin is like investigating stuff they've left behind. Sada and Turo did, after all, without even the manuscripts that Briar has, found out way too much about Tropicus. And then there's a side quest with the codename Steel. Could be related to the Blueberry Steel Elite 4. I might have an answer to this. So when talking about the new trainers, our data miner found 60 generic battles and then 3 Dragon, Fairy, and Fire challenges, but nothing concerning the 4th Blueberry Elite 4 member, Steel, which should be for Amaris. So if you have to go on a little quest for each of them, maybe hers is special. Last one, zombie NPCs seem to be in Kitakami. They can talk normally. So this goes back to characters in the code named Zombie Man, Zombie Old, and Zombies. Apparently, they're normal people we can talk to in Kitakami. What does he mean by that? Can I go talk to them right now? The zombie NPCs could turn out to be the Loyal 3. I mean, they did die and they came back. We gotta look up what the 3's models are called in the game files. What if they're called zombie? Okay, so at a glance, that's the post. Again, I can't vouch for it, but that's the beauty of this, right? You never want to know for sure. But there's one last bit. Speculation by data miner. So he says, because the rest of Applant's family isn't in the Indigo disc Pokedex, you get given the evolution of Dipplin and it can't evolve in the game. evolution method will be in the next games. Okay, so I think what they're trying to say is like this. So when I played this DLC, I transferred an Ursa Luna before the Ursa Luna quest, and it didn't count in the Pokedex. Only the Blood Moon Ursa Luna counts, and also Teddy Ursa and Ursa Ring are not in the Pokedex. These are all the Pokemon that are in the Indigo Disc regional Pokedex. Dipplin isn't included. So they're speculating, just like how Ursa Luna's Blood Moon form is a special standalone Pokemon that you can evolve yourself, that the evolution of Dipplin that's in the code is also a standalone Pokemon. Maybe Kieran will use it in our battles against them over there. And maybe someone in the game like Kieran would give it to you, but you can't get that evolution yourself. I wonder what 4chan is saying. I'm gonna have to censor the crap out of this. Side quest for Sada and Turo. Wonder if they're gonna parent swap them or reveal they didn't die. I forgot the parent swap. The other parent. So Sada on Pokemon Violet and Turo on Pokemon Scarlet. It all depends on whether they're actually the parents in both games. And in the text, when they write that the other parent walked off on them, that it really is Sada and Turo still. That would be so weird. Where would this even, let's say this happens, where would it even happen? So let's see, side quest for Sada and Turo, right? So let's say you see some notes in Sada and Turo's lab, and it unlocks a quest. You go deeper into Area 0 with Arvin, and casually the other parent is hanging out somewhere down there. Weird stuff, man. If this is all legit, the Chinese have shown their skill above us. Make sure I'll shank that like button. Let me know your thoughts on some of this stuff. The Sada and Turo quest, the final battle, and what parent might be doing in the Indigo Disc. And yeah, we got a lot more to speculate tomorrow, so I'll see y'all there. Take care.